everybody. Thank you for visiting my channel and welcome back, past, present, and future Gnosis. Before I begin, I just came out with a new series called The Mystery Cult, where I dive into different mystery cults, into the Greeks, the Romans, the Egyptians, even to the Persians. And the first one I did was the Illusion Mysteries, and it's been doing really good, and I appreciate everybody for viewing that. And next will be the Egyptian Mystery, so wait for that. That is in the works. But before all that, I just had to make this video. And as you see from the headline, it's all about crystals. What's with all these crystals? We see it all with the monks and the shamans and everybody using these for spiritual practices, but like, what is it? What's the science behind all this? And as you see, I have a plain amethyst, as in like I am a big component when it comes to crystals. I use it to meditate also. But I wanted to dive deep in this because I see a lot of people, especially on YouTube, making videos and have their crystals, but I believe that they're not giving it to you properly. They're not giving you the science. And just to say it right now, yeah, crystals work. It's just finding a way of using them and understanding how they're actually used, because this is going to get a little deep and I might have to do a part 2. But it's going to get deep, people, because I just think we take things for granted. And I'll start off right here and say, we are all made of what? Minerals and elements. So don't forget that, because that's going to be a big component, because we're going to talk about some minerals and elements that contribute to this. But before all this, I want to show you this article right here. So let's read this article. So, do crystals really work? The scientific evidence suggests that no, crystals do not have any mystic powers or attributes that can aid in physical, mental, or spiritual healing or well-being. Rather, the powers or vibrations people claim to feel from crystals are more likely to be the case of people susceptible to the power of suggestion or the placebo effect. So you may be asking, you just said that it worked, and now you're showing me an article, just like most people saying that, yeah, these crystals they're not doing it. They're pretty, but they don't do anything. I want to show you this is because, well, first, we all know about the placebo effect. You give some baby like a medicine, you tell them that, hey, it's going to heal you, it's going to do that, but then actually it's really nothing. It could be just some regular pain thing, and then boom, they get healed, they feel great, and this is a little short of the placebo effect, to be honest with you. So, just want to say that out. But I'm showing you this I have to make a point, because like I said, they're giving you the bare minimum. There's a science to all of this, and most people are not going to dive deep and make all the connections, because you have to do your research, people. And then like when I was getting into crystals, I was thinking the same thing, and I wanted to know the truth of this, so I had to find all of this out. So, but let's continue from that article, because I'm just going to dismantle that article. I'm going to destroy it and show you for myself that we can all look up too, because you see my videos, I always give you all of my references. So just point out that. So let's start with crystallization and the form of these crystals. So let's read this right here. Crystallization is the process of forming a crystalline structure from a fluid or from materials dissolved in a fluid. More rarely, crystals may be deposited directly from gas, sea-thin film deposits, and epoxy. Crystallization is a complex and extensively studied field, because depending on the conditions, a single fluid can solidify into many different possible forms. It could form a single crystal, perhaps with various possible phases. Stoichiometrics, impurities, defects in habits. Or it can form a polycrystal with various possibilities for the size, arrangement, orientation, and the phase of the grains. The final form of the solid is determined by the conditions under which the fluid is being solidified, such as the chemistry of the fluid, the ambient pressure. Ooh, that's a good one. Remember that pressure, because where's pressure? Energy. So the temperature, which is also energy, and the speed at which all these paramounts are changing. Specific industrial techniques to produce large single crystals called balls include the Syracuse process and abridgment technique. Other less exotic methods of crystallization may be used. But just want to show you that. So we just got the point that it could be used, could be formed in different variety of forms depending on the pressure, the temperature, which are forms of energy. So don't forget that. But let's continue. And when it comes to crystals, I think a lot of people don't even notice this. I actually made a post on my Facebook a couple of days ago, and I'll tell you, it's the full moon, and I told people get the crystals out. I actually might show the video into this. I'm not too sure if I'm going to, but the final version you'll see it. So I put the stone down, and I get replies. People are like, "Oh, you're with that pseudo stuff. Crystals have no energy," and I'm just like, "Wait a minute. Crystals don't have energy. What do you mean? Crystals are one of the conductors that actually is in your phones, your computers that I'm using actually right now, my laptop to record this video, in your TVs." And I tell people that, and some people are like, "Huh? What?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, you know it." So, but let's show this article. I'll be showing some articles, a lot of articles, to prove my point, because I don't want people saying that, "Oh, he's just talking." No, I'm going to show you all. So anyway, let's get to this article from Forbes. So we'll start here. To call this solid state because, well, skip here, but phones, computers, and other electronic devices do have a moving parts in them. It's just to move very, very little. There are two types of moving parts: crystals and MEMS. The crystals in your phone or computer are the same as the ones in a quartz watch. Remember quartz. What's a quartz? Quartz crystal. They provide the clock speed for the processor. The MEMS are micro-electrical mechanical systems, that is, microscopic moving parts etched out of silicone. Now, silicone is going to be a big part because I'm going to touch on silica soon. It's going to blow your mind. The beauty of quartz is that it can be made to resonate fantastically accurately. Quartz is grown as a large crystal and then cut into slices. The angle of that slice is one of the major contributing factors to the frequency. Frequency, people. It's typical around 40 megahertz. A noisy electrical signal is put into the crystal, but it vibrates to the tune of one of which the crystal has symphony. Gary Ramsdale from AEL Crystals, which designs the device, explained to me that fractures can be introduced into the crystal slice so that it vibrates against itself to give a multiplication factor. But while this is very clear, it's a technique that which is prone unreliability, and some most often multiplication of the frequency is done in circuitry outside of the crystals. These things are small. AEL's fragment packages is 1.6 times 1 millimeters, and the crystal is 0.6 times 0.6 millimeters within it. Although they are likely to get smaller, as there is a limit of the size crystals can be made to vibrate. So now, that's just a little example, and then I always leave it up to you guys to do your own research to come to all my videos. I just want to show you that little piece. So, like I said, we take crystals for granted. We carry crystals all the time. All the time. Your phone, on your pocket, 24/7. So, just to say if you don't carry crystals or you don't believe in these crystals, I mean, like, you're carrying it right now. So, but back to the article where it actually talked about Silica. Hmm. And what's interesting is when we get into silica, as I'll show you here, silica dioxide, also known as silica, is an oxide of silicon with the chemical formula SiO2, most commonly found in nature as quartz. Remember, keep telling you, crystals. We're back into the crystals, remember. So silica is found in nature as quartz, as crystals. So let's keep going. In many parts of the world, silica is the major constituent of sand. Silica is one of the most complex and most abundant families of materials existing as a compound of several minerals. I told you we're going to be talking about minerals and elements, people. Take notes. I'm telling you, if you take notes, let's do this. And as a synthetic product. Notably, examples include fused quartz, fumed silica, silica gel, opal, and aerogels. It is used in structural materials, microelectronics as an electrical insulator. So let me stop there. What's an electrical insulator? An electrical insulator is a material in which electrical current does not flow freely. The atoms of the insulator have tightly bound electrons which cannot readily move. Other materials, semiconductors, conductor of energy, quartz crystals, silica, you're still with me, I want to make sure you guys are still with me, and conductors conduct electrical current more easily, probably that distinguishes an insulator, and as a component in the food and pharmaceutical industries. So now, we just read that silica dioxide, also known as silica, is in abundance and it's actually found in quartz crystals, found in the nature as quartz. So just want to say, and what's interesting now is when it comes to silica, it's actually one of the most abundant, remember now, abundant mineral that we have on Earth. And if you don't believe me, I'll show you right here. The mass of Earth's crust is 59% silica. Remember, crystals, people, found in nature as quartz most commonly. I can't stress this enough. The main constituent of more than 95% of the known rocks, silica has three main crystalline varieties. Quartz, which is in your phone, ladies and gentlemen, the earth makes this in abundance, by far the most abundant, tridymite, and cristobalite. Other varieties include quartzite, hieta, and lacartellariate. And I'll read a little bit on the bottom right here. Silica, also called silica dioxide, compound of the two most abundant elements in Earth's crust. Silicon and oxygen, oxygen is the second one, CO2. The mass of Earth's crust is 59%, as I just said that there. So, listen to what I'm just saying, ladies and gentlemen. As you just see, this mineral is in abundance. It's part of the Earth's crust. So you can see how these crystals are in abundance and use variety of old cultures, because old cultures use these too, as I'll show you here in the history of it. Owing to the abundance of silicon in the Earth's crust, natural silicon-based materials have been used for thousands of years. Silicon rock crystals were familiar to various ancient civilizations, such as the pre-dynastic Egyptians used it for the beads in small vases, as well as the ancient Chinese. Glass containing silica was manufactured by the Egyptians since at least 1500 BC, as well as by the ancient Phoenicians. Natural silica compounds were also used in various types of mortar for construction of early human dwellings. So, even the ancients were aware of this and used this silica mineral to their advantage. So, if you don't believe in crystals yet, as you can see, I need you to focus more on the silica oxide, because as you see here with mineral structures and atoms, silicon oxygen atoms in crystalline structure, as you see in this picture here, diagrammatic representation of crystalline structure, mineral, a natural occurring inorganic element or compound having orderly eternal structure and characteristic chemical composition, crystal form, and physical properties. I mean, like, before I continue, and I've gotten you this far, this is everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. To the Earth's crust, these crystals are in abundance, and I don't think people are giving it to you like how I'm giving it to you right now. There's a science to this. If you understand that, the Earth creates this. And the Earth has energy, electromagnetic energy in it. So you're telling me that doesn't infuse doesn't go into the multiplication of the crystals? I mean, come on. We're grabbing these from the Earth and we're putting it into our phones. And it's getting electrical charge by the planet's magnetic field. So I can't stress this enough. But if that doesn't make you read it out, where else can we find silica? And you'll be surprised where you can find it. And it's in us, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we have silica running through us also. And what does the role of silica have in your body? Which I'm going to show you here, this article. Silica. The role of silica in your body. Humans use silica as a food additive and a filler in drugs and vitamins. Crystals, people. Crystals. It has a low bioavailable meaning. Your body will only absorb a tiny amount of silica and excrete the rest in urine. Also in your body is a form called orthosilicic acid. It exists in your bones, tendons, urethra, liver. You'll find silica in a lot of places. Food, rocks, plants, medicine, cosmetics, toothpaste, and those little dry gel packets that are packed with your product absorb moisture, as you see in the bottom right here. There's even silica in your body. The most common form of silica is quartz, common component of stone, concrete, and sand. Simply put, silica is everywhere. If you touch down on the beach, been onto the beach, you've had a silica. But don't worry, it's mostly harmless and can't even really get too much into your system due to the excretion. So, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, silica is in you, and if this mineral is inside you, and this mineral is commonly in nature as quartz crystals. So you have crystals in your body right now. Silica. Running in your body right now. And what other roles does silica have? Because I'm going to keep going and show you another article right here. I'm just saying, this gets crazy, people, and it sounds a little spooky when you're getting into it. It's not spooky. This is our body. And I wish people would give it to you like this, and I don't know why they're not explaining it like how I am, because after I'm reading this, I'm just like, whoa, this is crazy. We have crystals in our body? Yes, in form of silica, but doesn't end there. So let me show you another article right here from Vibrant Nutrilics. Why do you need silica? Silica is an important trace mineral that provides strength and flexibility to the connective tissues of your body. cartilage, tendons, skin, bone, teeth, hair, and blood vessel. Silica is essential in the formation of collagen, the most abundant protein found in your body. Collagen helps to keep your skin elastic, build strong nails and hair, and provide structure to most of your body. Silica plays an important role in strengthening your bones by facilitating the deposition of calcium and other minerals into bones, thereby helping to prevent fractures and may reduce the risks of developing osteoporosis. The amount of silica you need changes with each life stage. When you're young, the silica levels in your body are high. Crystals, listen to this, people, this is crazy. The silica levels in your body are high, contributing to the strength and flexibility of your bones and joints. Silica levels drop, however, as you age, which can affect the body's ability to maintain adequate levels of collagen. This can lead to joint weaknesses, increased risk for bone fractures, dry skin, hair loss, and a number of other age-related products. So now, just seeing all of that, this should just make your jaw drop. As I explained, because I might sound like a reoccurring clock, but I can't stress this enough. I just showed you that silica, this mineral, is in abundance on the Earth's crust. The second, one of the first, second most abundant, next to oxygen, is produced on the Earth, and we produce it in our bodies too. We have these two elements also, minerals, within our bodies that contribute to the structure of our anatomy and to our beneficial health as humans. So this should really be very important to everybody if you're really paying attention. And that doesn't just stop there with the silica, because there's other stuff that's in us too that we take for granted. I'm telling you, we take all of this for granted. Another one I want to talk about is copper. And if you're in the medical field, some of this stuff should be, oh yeah, I kind of know this, but you're not putting it together when it comes to crystals. I think that's the issue here, is that they're not putting it in the formation for you. It's like scattered information here and there, and I'm trying to give it to you in a structured look. So, as I said here, so let's continue with copper. Copper is used in buildings, usually for roofing, oxidizes to form green verdigris of patina. Copper is sometimes used in decorative art, both in its elemental material form and in compounds as pigments. Copper compounds are used as bactericidal agents, fungicides, and wood preservatives. Copper is essential to all living organisms as a trace dietary mineral, another mineral, because it is the key constituent of the respiratory enzyme complex cytochrome C oxidase. In mollusks and crustaceans, copper is constituent of the blood pigment homocysteine, replaced by the iron complex hemoglobin in fish and other vertebrates. In humans, copper is found mainly in the liver, muscle, and bone. The adult body contains between 1.4 and 2.1 milligrams of copper per kilogram of body weight. And now here's the interesting part. If we go down here, characteristics. Copper, silver, and gold are in group 11 of the periodic table. These three metals have one s orbital electron on top of a filled d electron shell and are characterized by high dustality and electro and thermal conductivity. So now, we all know that copper is a component for electricity. And now, all my electricians should be like, whoa, that's true. So now we have copper within us, a conductor of electric. And before I continue to my stuff, because I don't want to catch you guys' attention, but we in our body have an electrical pulse, and I'm going to touch on that in a second. But yes, we do. But before all that, I want to show you that other rocks, minerals, crystals that are actually produced inside of us too. And if you know anything about vertigo, vertigo, what's that? I'll show you this article here. Inner ear rock slides led to vertigo. Experts who treat dizziness estimate that about 20% of all dizziness is due to loose crystals. I'm telling you, people, I can't stress this. You gotta do your research. You gotta do your research. Or ear rocks in the inner ear. The condition known as pterygium paroxysmal positional vertigo, or BPPV, is usually treated with a series of simple head movements aimed at putting dislodged ear rocks or crystals back where they came from so they can be cleared away by the immune system. BPPV can be triggered by a head injury or a virus. The condition is more common in older adults. Tiny ear rocks keeping us balanced within the inner ear. There's a little pouch called the Uteriga that contains about 1,000 liter pebbles made of calcium carbonate. The tiny rocks serve as an important purpose. Crystals. They stimulate nerve cells when we move our heads and send signals to our brain that guide our senses of up and down. So that's interesting right there. That vertigo has to deal with these rocks, crystals that are in the ear that actually help with our coordination. And then what's actually recorded in your body. Your body's producing this. If anybody's ever had a kidney stone, I've never had it personally, and I commend the people that have kidney stones, especially the males. Like, damn, that's an extreme thing to go through. But with the kidney stones, like, what is that? That is a stone being produced right in your body that you're essentially peeing out, expelling out of your body. Explain that. Like, come on. But it doesn't do that. If you even know about gout, gout arthritis, even that, and I'll show you the facts right here. Gouty arthritis facts. Gout is a type of arthritis that causes inflammation, usually in one joint that begins suddenly. Gout arthritis is caused by the deposition of crystals. Here we go again with these crystals in our body being naturally produced of uric acid in the joint. It can cause symptoms such as nodules under the skin called tofu, joint redness, swollen joints, and joint pain. Most reliable methods to diagnose gout is to have fluid removed from an inflamed joint and examined under a microscope for urate crystals. People, chronic gout is treated using medications that lower the uric acid level in the body. I mean, come on, ladies and gentlemen. All of this is within us. These elements that contribute to all of us. And I can't stress this enough, and this all goes back to silicone. And one of its natural forms is in quartz crystals that we have an abundance on Earth. So I just want to keep reminding you this because this is just crazy, ladies and gentlemen. They're not giving it to you like this. But what's actually really interesting that I want to talk about is crystals and some of the uses that we have for these crystals, because some people may not know this, that crystals can store energy, can store information. And I want to show you this article here. Superman crystals could store 360 terabytes of data forever. Researchers have been able to demonstrate their ability to read and write data using 5-dimensional recording process in a synthetic crystal to store massive amounts of data indefinitely. The researchers led by Jiangsu Zhang from the University of Southampton in the UK successfully recorded a 300 KB digital copy of a text file onto a nanostructured glass in 5D using ultra-fast and intense pulse laser. The file was written in 3 layers of nanostructured dots separated by 5 micrometers. The scientists used by a femtosecond laser, which emits pulse of light in a femtoseconds, 1 quadrillionth or 1 millionth of a 1 billionth of a second. And it doesn't even get crazier than that. So you can store information in crystals. So let's just clear that out. But what else can store information? And I'm talking about the human body here, ladies and gentlemen. And if you think about it, what else is? DNA can store information. And you'll be surprised what they actually came with scientists achieving the first stable simulations of DNA crystals. Yes. And if you haven't seen this, I'll show you right here. Scientists achieved the first stable simulations of DNA crystals by Institute of Research in Biomedicine. Since the birth of structural biology, X-ray crystallography has been the most widely used technique to determine the three-dimensional structure of biomolecules. The chemical compounds found in living organisms. In this regard, knowledge of the interactions between the biomolecules with their crystal environment and the molecular forces that stabilize the crystals would serve to optimize this technique. So, if you're thinking about this, they have the ability to store information into crystals just like how our DNA stores information that we give to our offspring. And I'm just like, what? And that should be not concerning, but just think about that, ladies and gentlemen. If, hypothetically, that's like cloning or something like that. If you can have this information coded, what's not saying that you can replicate this too to further heighten it? And but I may be thinking too much, but it's just crazy that they've gotten so much with all these crystals and the formations, and that we have crystals within our body also. Is there a way that it could store energy, information? Maybe. I don't want to sound crazy, but it's just something really to think about. So, but when I explained earlier in the article about the crystals, where it's specified about the cutting of it. Now, here's the good stuff, and if you've stayed this long, I appreciate you, because I had to give you that information first before I get into the good stuff when it comes to the crystals. So and here it is. I'll give you the deeper information. And so let's continue right here. Quartz crystals is cut or struck together. The pressure applied to it generates an electrical charge. When an electrical charge is applied to the quartz, the crystal distorts. And as the voltage in the crystal creates an electrical field, it vibrates. Sometimes 30 times per second. Considering our bodies are constantly producing electrical signals, the interaction between crystals is pretty clear. And when I say this too, is when I talked about this, is your body is emitting in a magnetic field right at this moment. Just like how your crystal can be, your body is producing a magnetic field that can be detected 6 to 7 feet away, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, and I'll show you here. Is the human body electrical? Yes, the elements in our bodies, like sodium, potassium, calcium, and magnesium, have a specific, that means different, ladies and gentlemen, different levels to this, electrical charge. Almost all of our cells can use these charged elements called ions to generate electricity. The content of the cells are protected from the outside environment by a cell membrane. Scientists agree that the human body at rest can produce around 100 watts of power on average. This is enough electricity to power up a light bulb. Some humans have the ability to output over 2,000 watts of power, for instance, if sprinting. And also right here, I'll show the magnetic field. Human electromagnetic field is the magnetic field produced by the human body. It is 5 times stronger than the Earth's magnetic field. The field is generated by the electrical activity of the heart and the brain. So, you are a walking power plant, ladies and gentlemen. You are more than just a physical being. And this is what I meant by when you learn all this, you look at the human body in awe. I mean, this machine is just wow. And this is why I dedicate most of my free time. I dedicate most of my time, ladies and gentlemen, to this. I let go some of my friends. I don't partake in like games too much, sports. Like I'm reading, ladies and gentlemen, learning all this. And like I said, some people are not gonna want to dedicate some of their time to this because this is a lot of work, ladies and gentlemen, and putting things together to show you that we are truly magnificent beings. And just to show you guys all too, when it comes to these crystals, another article. So show you here, a step closer to finding aliens. Building blocks of life are found in two 4.5 billion year old meteorites that fell to Earth 2 decades ago. Crystals found in two meteorites contain the essential molecule for life, amino acids, hydrocarbons, and liquid water found on 4.5 billion year old rocks. The meteors landed on Earth in 1998, but the technology of the time wasn't capable of detecting the important chemicals. And so I'm saying you can look this up, people. The building blocks, 4.5 billion years. We're truly, and for that just gives me the feel like if they found the building blocks of life, 4.5 billion years old, hurling from space from who knows from what galaxy, you're telling me that, well, you know where I'm going at. Come on. There's so much more to this, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, the science is there. And you can look all of this up, but this is where it gets crazy. This is it, and this is where I'm going to finish all of this right here. And it goes to the mystics, the mystery schools, and the occult. Like I said, it's maybe a little spooky, but it's not spooky, ladies and gentlemen. They all know about this. The Masons, all of them, what I'm about to tell you right now, they know about this information that I'm going to show you right now. And what does this all pertain to? And I'll be making a separate video. I'm going to slide through this, but I will want to talk about this when we make a separate video. Like I said, I'll probably doing a part 2, but the pineal gland, ladies and gentlemen. The pineal gland, crystal transducer with scientific basis. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. If you didn't believe any of this, here it is. It is located in the hidden center of the brain. It is pine cone shaped and no bigger than a raisin. Incredibly, it is actually bioluminescent, so glows within the darkness of the brain, as if lit by a tiny light bulb. And has also been found to be sensitive to light. Interestingly enough, the anatomy of the gland actually consists of a lens, corona, and retina, just like our eyeballs. Also, according to scientist Dr. Graham Blackwell, a large number of small crystals, people, you've got to do the research, have been found in the gland called calcite microcrystals. They bear a striking resemblance to the calcite crystals in the inner ear, which I just talked about earlier in the video, that have been shown to exhibit the qualities of an electrical field known as piezoelectricity. If the pineal gland crystals exhibit the same qualities, then this would provide a means where an external electromagnetic field might directly influence the brain. And for the bioluminescence in the pineal gland, it's an emission of light due to pressure upon solids. Calcite microcrystals emit cold light in the range of blue and green. This phenomenon also occurs in certain marine fishes. I mean, there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I just showed you all the scientific proof. I showed you about the silicone being this mineral being in abundance. We have this in our body, the role that this has in our body, and that scientists have actually manufactured crystals to store information, just like how our DNA stores information. And now I just showed you that even the pineal gland, the third eye, chakra, the Egyptians, they knew something, and this is why I can't stress this enough. And I hope I gave this to you all in visual format, but like I said again, crystals, buy them, see their components, meditate with them, because you have a crystal in your third eye that under pressure you produce an electromagnetic field around your body that interacts with these crystals within you. So, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, there's more to these crystals than they're telling you. But I can go on, there's so much more information, but I think this is just enough to explain the importance of the crystals. And like I said, please do your research. I laid out my info. Keep continuing, use my information as a stepping stone to heighten your information, but I'm telling you, the ancients knew something, and I'm giving you guys these secrets because the occult, they know this too. Why do you think you see all these movies and shows portraying with the crystals and stuff, the crystal ball? This is power, ladies and gentlemen, that you have. But they don't want you to know the power that we hold. So, again, thank you for watching my channel. I appreciate you all. And let no one tell you about these crystals. Knowledge is power. Thank you. See you in the next video. Cheers.